96 and 98.5 FM with Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane. Here are your hosts, Peter and Anthony.
Man, I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday weekend. Hope you guys had fun. A little extra. Always got a little extra 3-day weekend. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4-day weekend? 5-day weekend? No. It's like 3.5. Blowing stuff up. Getting out there. Getting wild. Man, it was quite a weekend. Did two things I never thought I would do, and did them both in the same weekend. But I'll tell you about it in just a little bit. I want to welcome everybody to the program. It is Grindtime, of course. It is Tuesday. It feels like Monday, but it's Tuesday. Don't be fooled. Current temperature 162 degrees outside.
Feeling like Qatar.
It is actually nice for those of you that are bakers. You just put the old cake outside. You put a bunch of batter, and wait a couple hours, and that sucker's going to be nice and baked. It's going to be nice. It's going to be beautiful if you want to do that. It's ridiculous out there. It's crazy. And it's going to be only crazier as the week goes on. Heat indices up in the 110s-ish, 115s-ish.
Yeah, we reported close to 115 on the heat index this morning.
Yeah, it's wild. It is really crazy. So I was outside doing some work early this morning, and it was still ridiculous early in the morning. I mean, like, you can't get up early enough now to avoid nasty heat and all kinds of stuff. You just cannot do it. So in any event, welcome in. We have a very busy show for you, as we said, because it is Tuesday. CJ Hurt is going to join us in our next segment. We're going to talk to CJ about a number of things. We are going to get into what's happening so far with the Grizzlies in free agency, which is to say, not a whole lot. We'll talk about Summer League, which does begin later on this afternoon over in Salt Lake City. We'll talk about that with CJ Hurt coming up here in just a little bit. Also joining us on the program later on will be Steven Johnson. And again, it's amazing how the Tigers men's basketball team this offseason has managed to stretch out so much time. And really, I mean, not that much has changed, really. But, like, they've stretched out so many – everything has been almost on a week-to-week-to-week basis where every time we bring on Steven, there is some new thing, there's some moment, whether it's somebody transferring in, whether it's somebody transferring out, whether it is IRP situation, coaching staff situation, schedules, it's like it's wild. I've never. It's very impressed. It's almost. I'm impressed, and I mean, I'm not saying it's purposeful. Maybe it is.
I think it is.
Maybe
Summer
it's purposeful.
Penny. That's what it's called. The summer penny.
I mean, Penny's pretty shrewd. Like, Penny's an NBA guy. He understands. He knows the situation, so he knows what the deal is. He was able to. He was able to do a whole bunch of stuff in a whole small amount of time, quite frankly. It's very impressive, I got to tell you. Very impressed with him, and very impressed with his ability to stretch out. It's kind of a PR thing almost. Like, if you keep yourself in the mix, keep yourself in the flow. You know what I mean? Because honestly, that's a major deal. That's a big difference in what's happening. So I'm impressed with him. We'll talk to Steven about the latest, because there's always the latest with him. That's coming up at 2 o'clock from the Daily Memphian. He's going to join us. If you want to join us, you can throughout the show. We'd love to hear from you. Our phone number here on the AutoZone listener line is 901-360-8255, 901-360-8255. If you want to hit us up there, you can. You can hit us up on the AutoZone chat line as well, because we are streaming all over your favorite platforms, wherever they happen to be. Platform of your choice, pick it. Pick that platform and roll with it, and we'll be happy to take care of that for all of you, whatever it may be. Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, you name it. If there is a chat available to you on the app, You can chat with us directly there through the app. It comes right into us. We can see it. We love hearing from all of you, so please feel free to fire off your thoughts, your 4th of July reactions, all of that good stuff. Come on in, bring it into us, and let us know what's going on. I am Peter Edmiston, of course, joined by Anthony Sane. Anthony Sane, what's up?
Man, what's up?
He's here. He's here.
How did the 4th of July weekend go?
I don't participate in your country's Independence Day.
Oh.
And I'm not
Yeah,
late.
but how did the weekend go?
I'm not late. I'm protesting. I worked on Juneteenth,
June 19th.
so I'm did a silent protest about your
It
country.
was actually the 20th when we worked. Now that I think about it.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah, it was.
other holiday, you'd be off.
Technically,
on
it was a silent Sunday, so.
No, I was late. What's up with y'all? Y'all good?
What's going on?
Oh man, everything's great. No, we are we're excellent. Let me tell you something. As I mentioned to open up the show, we had the normal 4th of July, which 4th of July being on Monday kind of messed up the whole vibe of
Everything.
yeah, because like, and I don't know what it was like, but man, there's no specific day to do fireworks. So everybody's firing off fireworks all
Different
the time.
time.
Friday, Saturday.
We had Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. People just there's no rule. If 4th of July is on a Monday, we're like I don't know, man.
And Pete, look, the ones that spent a lot of money, they still have fireworks left over. So you're gonna get something tonight too, buddy.
I mean, probably gonna get a few tonight, but man, it was every night. I just couldn't. Which I don't care. I've got kids and I've got dog and all that stuff, and it's fine. Like, it doesn't really. I've gotten to the point where it doesn't wake me up. I mean, if you're shooting fireworks past, I don't know, midnight, 11:30, midnight, yeah, then maybe that's not the greatest. If you're in a neighborhood, I mean, like if you're like in a, I don't know, if you're doing it as part of a party or something, sure, fine, whatever. But other than that, I say no. Same. Were you around a bunch of fireworks? Were people firing off fireworks left and right?
I'm black, Peter.
That's a yes.
I mean, I gathered as well. There was really.
do you
Let me give you this. That was more of a rhetorical question to sort of open you up to the discussion of fireworks. I was not really asking you legitimately whether you
I
were
wasn't
around
participating
fireworks.
in anything, but my neighborhood, yeah.
I assumed you were around. Yeah, I assumed you were around fireworks at the
Yeah,
very least.
I didn't have anything to
like
do
most
with
people were.
I
You didn't do any fireworks? You don't
No.
do fireworks?
And I do them, but I didn't. I don't think anything in life you have to do it every single year. I didn't do it this year.
What about you, Darren?
Well, last night was historic. This was the first time since I've had kids that we actually did not purchase fireworks because 2 of them think they're too old and my little girl is kind of scared. And yesterday was the last day I will ever have a cookout because my kids don't eat it. Like, I got a refrigerator full of food. I'd spent a nice amount of money cooking.
What'd you make?
Chicken. I did chicken for the first time. I've always been afraid of chicken, even though I was a restaurant guy. I just don't want to get anybody sick. So chicken, burgers, smoked sausages, the norm. But it's all, some greens and all that good stuff. But it's still all in there. So I have to transport this food to south of Memphis. Go ahead and get it to south of Memphis, and go ahead and
You
get it to
crossing the
mom.
border today?
Absolutely,
South of
man.
Memphis.
I gotta get this food to mom or someone. But this was I'm not buying fireworks anymore. I'm not cooking anymore. I'm a free adult. without kids on the 4th going forward. I learned my lesson.
Yeah, I did.
I mean, yeah. No, that's the thing. If you don't appreciate it, then I ain't doing it.
Yeah, I'm out.
It's too hot, man. It's too hot to be on the
Absolutely.
grill for nobody to appreciate it. You come in from the grill and look like somebody hosed you down. I mean, it is
Yeah,
horrifying.
me and Kobe
Look like Patrick
Rich.
Ewing after a quarter.
like Michael Green does.
Yeah,
Jermichael Green just sweat just.
So next year I'm coming over to Pete's
Blazing
house
on.
because I know you're gonna cook and have fireworks and whatnot. So I'm done.
Well, we had a.
I'm about to send you a video, Peter, what I found on Facebook. It looks like Afghanistan. Some guys recorded it there. I was like, that looks like a war zone. Literally. Like,
I remember when we went to Jacksonville, Fernandina Beach, just not too far from Jacksonville, with some friends of ours a few years back. And, man, Florida is wild. At least that part of the beach was wild. So you could go get your fireworks if you wanted to, which everyone did. Tons of fireworks. You could. My buddy who I was staying with had he's like one of those guys that spends like insane amounts of money on fireworks. Like I just cannot believe somebody spends. It was like $1,000, truly, like on fire. It was crazy. It was a Darian lost bet on fireworks.
A Moses Moody bet.
And but you can pull he had a big truck, and you could pull your truck like directly onto the beach, like right up to the water, basically.
Uh-huh.
Like, as close as you feel like getting without, the tide coming in and sweeping away your truck. Drive all the way up there, load up the back of the truck with fireworks,
and
get them all out, put them on the beach, and there is no, like, you stake out your spot, but somebody else might have a spot, like you might be 3 feet away from somebody firing off like a military grade munitions. And it was, I brought my kids were just like cowering under the chair because like it was guy's bottle like fell down and fired a bottle rocket like right over our heads, and he's like, oh man, I'm sorry, I thought I put it in the sand. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like drunk people just staggering around with fire. I was like, no, you know what?
Overall, was it fun or did you not like it?
In retrospect, if I hadn't had the kids there to worry about whether or not they were going to get blasted in the face with fireworks, it would have been fun. But these people were not like nobody has. There's no the fireworks safety was not. People are lighting stuff and just not even like moving away. They're like, yeah, it's good, boom, and like about 3 inches from their head, like something. I was like, what are you? It's dark. You can't see. I mean, like people are. I don't know. It was insane.
I've seen a lot of videos of people recording themselves doing their thing. And I don't know, you can call me old, you can call me lame, out of touch, whatever, but the handling of the handling of fireworks in people's hands, I'm not able to accept that yet.
I'm not with that
talking about
either.
like sparklers or Roman candles, because I can kind of get with. I've seen people carrying things that look like grenades and shooting fireworks in their hand.
Yeah, people are like throwing like bottle rockets at you, like hold lighting stuff up. Like, what are y'all doing?
You realize that whole thing in your hand can explode. But anyway.
Yeah, it's just I've not.
Shout out to my boy Terry.
I like shooting off fireworks. It's fun for the family. But like I was teaching my son to do it, but like I don't know. I'm like one of those that lights the fuse and then it's like runs. Like I'm not one of these that's like I kind of take a little cover. Like I'm not out here just like I got to kind of light. Like let me stretch my hand out here. Okay, yeah.
Get back so you can enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't know, man, because you never know. Like there's that one shot left in some of these that like doesn't fire off, and you kind of walk up there and bam! No, it can't be.
Shout out to my boy Terry. You know who Terry is, right, Peter?
Yeah.
I didn't know that happened in Memphis till this year. I've seen the video forever, but I wouldn't know where.
Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea.
No, not Terry Bollea.
Yeah, obviously who you're talking about.
I fell down a no holds barred. I fell down a no holds barred rabbit hole too. But no, Terry in Whitehaven, who the famous video of the guy in the wheelchair that they lit the fireworks and his wheelchair cut off and he couldn't move out of the way.
Yeah, that was.
Back up, Terry!
Wasn't that last year?
No, it happened like probably 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah, okay. Well, I must have just. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it happened in Memphis though. That's the part I didn't know. But yeah,
a terrible tradition. Truly terrible.
Terrible
tradition. Truly terrible tradition. No, it's a tradition unlike any other that needs to. We need to never think about that again. And then on top of that, in the midst of while I was waiting for all this Grizzly stuff to go down, which I'm still waiting. Just keep that on the clock. We do have a game later on tonight, so at least we'll see something happen. But while I'm waiting for all that, I had two. There's a extremely long, and we had an incredibly insane day yesterday as a family that I won't go into, but it's why I'm here and not. It's yeah. So we lost. It was a yeah. Anyway. But the offshoot of that was because of the nature of what happened to us. I was forced to eat at Subway yesterday, and it was.
You didn't even want to say.
No, I got to hear this story.
Please.
No, we were at. I was stuck at a place.
You was telling the story.
That I was stuck at a place. I was stuck at a place where literally the only place to eat was Subway, and I had not eaten for the entire day. This was about 2 p.m. I guess. I was starving.
That pizza with
And
that one big pepperoni was on your mind.
And this was one of those. This was a janky Subway. Didn't even have the pizza, so I didn't know what they had. Like they were out of everything, and I got this like flatbread sub thing that was fine, I guess.
See, why you trying to do extra stuff, man? Just get a regular sandwich, bro.
I don't. I told you I don't like their bread. I smell it. I get the
flatbread.
flatbread is the
Flatbread
least.
coming from the same bread, man.
Yeah, but it's not. You know, it's not
stuck
the
on the
bread.
smell. He keeps saying the smell.
Whatever makes you feel better, bro.
You heard him? He said,
But I had to do it. Like I was just like I know Sane is.
Oh yeah, we on your head.
Just cackling at like I gotta. And then I had the Little Caesars too this weekend at request of at child request. And
boy was in the trenches.
that was actually pretty good. That was actually okay. I know. It was one of those weekends, man. It's
boy was in the trenches.
we've had some challenges. We've had some challenges. This weekend has been a challenging weekend to say the least. So, but in any event, I thought I would share that with you guys because I know our listeners know my feelings. I think on Subway. Yeah, and it was that was literally the what I've told you guys before. The only time I'll ever eat it is that was the situation just happened to align that I didn't really think it ever would, but I was at a place where there was one place to eat and I could not go anywhere, and that place was Subway, and so I just had to. And they charged me like a ton. It was expensive. Like, come on, man, Subway's supposed to be cheap. Anyway.
Oh yeah, Subway took like a dramatic leap.
Their
prices skyrocketed last year for sure.
Like, man, these fast food, you might as well just go to sit down. Like, you go to McDonald's and you spend like, you got your kids, your family, and you're like, it's like $30. Like, why didn't I just go to like Chili's or something? Like, I could have sat down at least and like got some service or something. Like, I could have gotten some margaritas. I could have done something.
Yeah,
good God! Like I'm
fast food
paying
places
like
have been insane. McDonald's is in crazy high for some of this stuff. A Big Mac is like $5.
Yeah. I'm not talking about like Chick-fil-A or like
everybody.
A premium. Five Guys was like a premium fast food. Like it's a little more. Upscale, whatever. Like I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like McDonald's.
$10. You get a combo anywhere, you're gonna spend $10.
It's $10. Like, when you go to like a. Like a good
I think Hunt's Pizza or
quick serve place is. Yeah, you go like if I go to like Dixie Queen, I end up spending like $10-$12. Like I'm.
In the Dixie Queen, you don't even know what the price is. Like, the price
that's true. Yeah, that is a guess.
Price on the
that's
menu
a guess.
No,
that's
a rough.
You look at your receipt and you're like, what?
Did you get a receipt?
There's a symbol. Yeah, well, sometimes you don't get a receipt, and then there's a symbol for like some charge that's like 49 cents for like. XG7, like what is that? What is that? Oh man, sorry, that's we got got the extra charge on the
Little Tony.
The sauce. The sauce costs more now because it took a while for us to get it. We're running low on sauces. Like Oh, and they sneak you the upcharge on the to-go orders now because they can't find the to-go stuff.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful on that. If you get a to-go, and I know you're DoorDash, so it's different for you. But if you grab one to go, keep an eye out, man, because you might just be like, oh, I'm just gonna grab something and take it to the car. No, you might get an extra $1.50 charge for to go.
Mm-hmm.
Just for just even you go get it yourself. It's like a delivery fee, except you went to go get it yourself.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's happening for sure. Everything is high as hell right now.
They don't tip me. They didn't tip me.
Domino's
I went to go get it. Yeah, it's not. It's a lot of strings attached on that tip, but I appreciate the effort. Like I already told you, Domino's one of the great revival stories of our time.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we're going to talk about where things stand with the Grizzlies with the great CJ Hurt when we come back because it is Summer League. It is starting. We'll talk about what to look for, things to look out for. We'll continue that as we roll on here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 and 98.5.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
When Chef Ryan Trim decided to open 117 Prime, Memphis's premier downtown dining destination, he was determined to make every single aspect of your experience at Prime something unique. You've heard of the huge selection of wine and bourbons at Prime, but they even brought in experts to create cocktails you literally cannot get anywhere else. The Straw Hat with Belvedere Vodka, the Borrowed Trinket with Monk's Road Barrel Aged Gin. That's just two of them. There are far too many to be listed here. If you want to try the rest, all you have to do is go to 117 Prime.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise and the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate, Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on Drivewise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Mid-South Hobbies is passionate about your hobby. They have your favorite model airplanes, boats, race cars, and trains to build with brands you know like Traxxas, Lionel, and LGB. Mid-South Hobbies has all the accessories to make them complete and thousands of paint colors to make them shine. You can reach the sky with rockets and kites or reach deep into your imagination with action figures, comic book superheroes, and fantasy quest games. Get passionate about your hobby at Mid-South Hobbies, 4862 Summer Avenue.
Now, back to Grind Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
Couldn't stand to be kept away just for the day from your body. Wouldn't wanna be swept away.
Oh, now you could really hit this one up. If you got a little harmonic situation, a little harmonic convergence, folks could love this one.
Yep, I be in them creeks. That's what
You
they
did?
tell me, Pete. I be in these creeks. I always want
You
to
do
see
have
what
crates
in the room
though.
back
You
there,
have
man.
you got boxes. You got boxes and crates. I mean, that's true. That's what you got.
You want to see what's in the room?
In that room, in the actual studio with all the records back there, you know, like I came from way back when records.
Going back.
It's a ton of records back there, man.
You
I
ever
bet
been in
some
the Elvis
good
room?
stuff back there. No, you told me about that. No, no. Yeah, we got a ton of wax. I bet you some great albums back there.
Go in the Elvis room, man.
Probably found a Peter
Hit on
album
wax.
back there.
All
the way down
no,
to the right.
You got some interesting stuff. There's a museum.
In
There's
this
definitely a
building, for
museum.
sure.
There's some stuff that's very interesting
Find that
for
old
collectors
Peter
and for anyone that
16.
is remote, that is interested in that sort of thing.
Howard
there's
Q
definitely
60-minute workout vinyl.
Oh man,
Featuring Pete. I guarantee you Pete has a bar or two back there.
no question. I do. Me and Howard will go way back. All right.
Parking lot pimping on D&D parking lot. Huh?
Man, you know it. Come on. We talked about that.
Yeah, I know.
Let's bring our good friend.
Used to, parking lot pimp.
I too.
What's the chance this guy is Subway or McDonald's?
Oh, yeah, he's somewhere.
I
He's
can't
somewhere in a
imagine.
remote location.
CJ, they done with all this
He's
face.
doing groceries, getting groceries, and running errands.
I am outside because my wife and I, so full disclosure, we're looking to buy a house. We're talking about what we want in the house and what we like about a house.
I appreciate that full disclosure. I appreciate that full
Yeah,
disclosure.
full disclosure. I
Thank you
fully
for
disclose
fully
everything to you,
disclosing.
Peter. I fully
Thank you.
disclose all of myself to you. So when Darian called me, I said,
easy.
"Oh man, I forgot I had to do this today because I thought it was Monday, not realizing it's Tuesday." She said, "Wait, are you going to be talking all loud and stuff?" I said, "Yes, I am." She said, "Go outside." So I'm currently standing in my backyard.
Ain't nothing wrong.
All of that to say you were staying in your backyard?
Yes, all that to say that
Okay.
I'm fully disclosing to you again, Peter. I'm standing in my backyard, baby.
Okay, it's hot. It's hot, man. Get yourself a nice cool drink or something.
I mean, I'm in the shade. I kicked it out
Oh.
here for the 4th, man. Just came out here with my speaker and my whiskey and my Nintendo Switch and listened to some good tunes and played the Switch outside all day yesterday with
What's
some good stuff.
Yeah? Did you do some fireworks?
No, did not. That did not stop the people in my neighborhood from doing them. You know, these mother bleepers popped the fireworks so loud it shook the house and knocked dishes out of the cupboard.
What?
What?
How?
I
What?
don't know. I'm asleep. I hear a clank, 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 clank. I'm like, yo, somebody's in here. So I sent my wife out to check, and she's like, oh, no, the fireworks just knocked the dishes out.
You sent your
They
wife
weren't
out
in
to
the
check.
cupboard. They were in the strainer. It knocked the whole strainer over.
You had dishes in the strainer?
Well, the
You're straining
you wash-
dishes?
You, hand-
Like what?
you
You mean the
hand wash
drying
dishes and you
rack?
put it-
Like the drying rack?
Yeah,
Yeah,
cool. Whatever you want to call it, call it that.
A dishwasher, Peter. Some of us eat
No,
at
I-
Subway and places like that. We don't.
Guys, this is not a like I'm super rich because I have a dishwasher. This isn't that.
Some
I've
of us
had
don't
plenty
have
of
those, though, man.
dishwasher. Yeah, but a lot of us hand wash dishes and have hand washed dishes for a long time. you have a drying rack. You have a strainer. Strainers, you don't.
Is it called a drying rack? I didn't know it was called
Yeah.
that. I just put it in the dish thing.
Like a strainer is
Oh,
like
it
what
was
you
over
put
there.
like a strainer is like when you cook pasta and you put it through the thing
No,
with
that's
holes
a
in it.
colander.
Yeah, a strainer is another word for a colander. Like you're straining
Is it?
out stuff. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought that was
Yeah.
a dish strainer, but all right, cool. I learned something.
It is, man. It's the same thing.
Call it
It's
whatever
a
you want.
strainer,
That's
Anthony.
fine. I was just confused. You can call it whatever you want. I don't really care. But I was confused.
I know what
dish
you meant,
colander.
brother. I know what you meant, brother. Dish,
Okay.
dish
All
rack,
so that's
whatever.
the dish colander, dish rack, drying rack, whatever it was. You were around fireworks that were so explosive that they knocked that thing down. And
Yes. Yes.
did it break stuff?
Thankfully, there was no glass on the floor, so my wife didn't cut her foot when she went and checked.
Man. Okay. All right. Well, that being said, I'm happy that we're all safe and sound and we all survived the craziness that was this weekend. CJ Hurt. Now, my question to you is: we talked to you a week ago, prior to all of the free agent stuff, and now since then, pretty much everything has kind of happened. There's not a lot left at least from a free agency standpoint. There's still plenty of trades and other things like that could happen, but we've kind of pushed on from trades and from free agency to summer league. Are you? What's the reaction to the Grizzlies mostly doing nothing? Like you're talking about, basically, they re-signed Tyus to a reasonable 2-year deal. And, that's about it, really, and sign the draft picks. Are you surprised, happy, disappointed, resigned to it? What's your emotional reaction?
I think that if I had told fans, 2-3 weeks ago, hey, Grizzlies going to be able to get Tyus back, I think people would be excited about that. But when you look around and see what everybody else is doing, I can get why there may be some sort of letdown from Grizzlies fans because it's not really splashy. I think you had the Tyus signing, you had the Ja Morant rookie extension, which, if you understand how the money worked, it's silly for the teams not to give a rookie who's shown to be competent that extension, and it's silly for the rookie not to take that money. So you kind of figured that they were going to pay Ja Morant. And so seeing that happen, I think, and getting Ja sewn up through, the next 5-6 years or what have you, I think people will be excited about that. For me personally, I think that sometimes the best move to make is to be patient and not make a move, not chase moves for the sake of chasing moves, not chase deals for the sake of making deals. You can win in the offseason and then turn around and lose during the regular season in the playoffs because the pieces just don't fit. You look around the NBA and you see it time and time again, be it going out there if you're the Los Angeles Lakers and adding a piece who is a Hall of Famer, a two-time or one-time MVP, and Russell Westbrook, and then that piece just not fitting. I think you're going to see it again this year with a team in the Timberwolves who throw so much of their identity and their toughness and their youth at Rudy Gobert just for that piece to come in and probably not fit. So if that's the type of move that you expected the Grizzlies to make, I think this front office is way too smart to make moves just to make moves, and I am completely fine with what they've done so far.
As transparent as this front office and coaching staff and players are, the way that they communicate so openly with each other, how much of this feels like it might have been some type of byproduct of everyone putting their heads together and saying, hey, we just want to run this back with the guys that we have? How much do you think that had to do with what we saw this offseason?
I think maybe, I don't know, somewhere between 47 and 57.3% is what that was, because you don't want to throw off the chemistry. Right. You don't. So much about basketball is the stuff that we don't see. Like it's great to be a great player. It's also great to be a great player on a team that likes one another, that the chemistry is all the way figured out. So think about what the Nets are with the greatness of Kyrie, the greatness of Kevin Durant, and the greatness of James Harden back when that James Harden trade finally goes through, and then look at where they are now. Whereas, I kind of don't – get me out of here. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to play with these dudes anymore. right? Kevin Durant asking for a trade, James Harden asking for a trade, and getting traded during the season. So if you are the Grizzlies and you're looking around, you say, hey, we got a young superstar in the making in Ja Morant. We've got an all-NBA defensive team player and a defensive player of the year candidate in Jaren Jackson Jr. We got a Desmond Bane who is taking steps, leaps and bounds going forward. We got Zaire, and if he can do what Desmond Bane did, we're banking on him doing what Desmond Bane did last year. He was a lottery pick. He was a top 10 pick. If he does what Desmond Bane, who was a late first, maybe early second-round pick, does, that could increase the productivity of his career and of the team next year. They like one another, so let's stay put and see how they all progress.
When you saw the amount that was given up for Rudy Gobert, the Minnesota Timberwolves
Peter. Full disclosure, a little bit of urine came out. Not going to lie to you. I was like, oh, my, what? And a little, I had to catch it. I had to squeeze it real tight. It was unbelievable.
Yeah. They are trading away 3 unprotected first-round picks, 1 top 5 protected first-round pick. That one is all the way in 2029 when, we may be underwater. Who knows how things are going to go. Then also a unprotected pick swap in 2026, I believe. And then some decent players, although, nobody that's going to, blow your mind. But, Jared Vanderbilt, he was kind of a cult hero in Minnesota. Malik Beasley, Bolmaro, guys like that. Okay. For Rudy Gobert, who will be 30 and who is going to make $47 million in the year 2025-26.
I think we'll look back and be like, that might be one of the dumbest trades all time. So much of their from a productivity standpoint, Vanderbilt, Beverly, Beasley, those guys aren't going to, make your jaw drop to the floor when you look at their numbers. When you watch the Timberwolves play, that is the toughness. Yeah. That is the attitude. That is, for lack of a better phrase, that is the swagger that allows a Karl Anthony Towns and a D'Angelo Russell, for that matter, to go out there and play freely and play recklessly. It's a whole lot easier going into a fight with people who these dudes have come to fight. These dudes are ready. It's a whole lot easier going in there with those type of dudes than rolling up with some guys who you're not sure if they have your back or not. And you might not know Patrick Beverly might not give you a whole lot offensively. He might not be the best defensively, but when you roll up, that dude is ready to go. No question about it. He's got the energy. He's got the fight in him. He's ready to go. And that attitude permeates through a couple of players who, honestly, for their career have been kind of void of energy, lackadaisical. The desire, you could question, some have questioned whether or not the desire was there. And they need somebody to feed off of, and Rudy Gobert is not going to give them that. Yeah. Also, when you look at it on the court, what the hell are they going to do? Can you play Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns at the same time?
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I mean, Towns will be the forward. So to me, you're going to go. He's going to be the Ralph Sampson to the Akeem Olajuwon.
Wait, stop. Wait, whoa.
Yeah,
I did not come on these here airwaves in Memphis, Tennessee, to hear you insult the great Hakeem Olajuwon and Ralph Sampson that way, Peter Edmondson.
I mean, that's the role he's going to play. I mean, obviously they're not going to be those guys, but
that's like having Luke Longley and Greg Ostertag out there. That's what
No. It's not. I mean, I think it's going to be fine in the regular season. I actually think it's going to be good in the regular season. I think they'll be good. Towns is a spacer. He's a 40 some odd percent 3-point shooter, so he's naturally a spacer. He certainly can rebound, but I mean, it's because he's big and he's in those positions. But he's not a great defender. So you put Gobert in there as a rim protector. You let Karl, kind of do his thing out at the 4. You play a little bit bigger, which some teams are kind of experimenting with. I think it works. Actually, I think it works well in the regular season. The problem for them is going to be the playoffs. I don't see in the playoffs how that isn't going to get snuffed out pretty quick by teams that are. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Peter.
No, I was just saying I don't see how that's not stuffed out by teams that will take advantage of Gobert in the same way that other teams have done with Utah for all these years. it just puts a lot. Now he will. I think he's playing with better perimeter defenders in Minnesota than he was in Utah. That's probably true, but I don't know. I don't think it's going to work. I don't think it's going to be an absolute disaster. Like I don't think it's going to be a Nets Celtics level where the picks are going to be like lottery picks and stuff. I don't think it's going to be that bad. I think they'll be a playoff team, but it's not going to be great.
I don't think that they're going to be a playoff team. I think offensively they got it figured out. No,
I'm not.
I think they get gobbled up. They get gobbled up in pick and roll. They get gobbled up in the three. They get gobbled up mid range. And if you can run, I think you can run those dudes off the court.
I'm not far from you. I'm not saying they're going to be a playoff team, but they're not going to be good. Like I don't care what nobody says. I've never seen a center go backwards. I've seen forwards move up to 5. Show me a center that went down to 4 and it worked. Like I've never even seen it even happen before. And people are acting, oh yeah, he can just play the 4. All right, when have we seen that happen?
I mean, I think there are a lot of lineups where he played the equivalent of the 4 last year when he was playing with Vanderbilt. Right. Vanderbilt did most of the 5 work, where he could get out there and Vanderbilt
most
was the guy that was physical and
most
big
of your 4s are big
whatever.
wings, so he's going to be guarding wings. That's what we're doing with town.
I mean, I think he can. I think he's going to be there. I don't think there's going to be enough 4s playing wings that are going to be that good to be able to exploit him that much. I'll just put it that way.
Okay.
I think he can be. I think he can be. I think he'll be fine. I think they'll be actually better in the regular season.
In 2 months' time, I guarantee you, in 2 months' time, you'll see commentators asking, "Is it time to bring Gobert off the bench?" I guarantee you're going to have that. That's going to be the headline of Sports Center. I guarantee it. This is 2022, man. Who runs 2 bigs like traditional centers? Like nobody does it.
Yeah, I think that's why it might be time to try it. That might be where you zig.
With them 2 dudes. that's the point I'm making, man. You brought Dumb and Dumber out together, man. Get out of here. Like that thing.
I don't understand. I don't understand the. I mean, like I get like why it's kind of a I wouldn't have done the trade. It's a lot, but you have to understand too that Karl Anthony Towns last year shot 53% from the field, 41% from 3, 82% from the free throw line. There's a million wings out there who couldn't do that. And he took 5 or 6 threes a game. He's taken up to 8 in a regular season in a game before, like on average. So like he's already an outside shooter. That's what he does. Like that's one of his best things. And he's an okay rebounder, but he's not an elite rebounder. So get him away from the basket. He's definitely not an elite defender. So that's fine. I think it'll work out okay for them actually. In the regular season, again, the playoffs.
I saw this dude foul out of a play-in game in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Good luck to that dude playing the 4.
Yeah, but he also had some strong games against the Grizzlies. He averaged 22 and 11 in that series against the Grizzlies. So
playing center.
Shooting 49%, shooting 46% from 3. So it wasn't terrible.
He's playing center though, Peter.
When he's guarded by smaller players, we saw him though, Peter, struggle.
Yeah.
We saw him not be able to steal. We saw him not be able to dribble without getting the ball poked away, without somebody getting a deflection on it. So if he's going to go from the 5 to the 4 where smaller players are going to guard him, I question whether or not he'll be able to handle that pressure. Now, offensively is not my concern. I think Karl Anthony Towns is a good enough offensive weapon to figure out his offensive game and where his new spots are going to be. They probably won't change that much, and maybe they open up some with a Rudy Gobert who's pretty good rim running and catching lobs and finishing at the basket. So maybe they open up a little bit more offensively for Karl Anthony Towns. But, man, just defensively, if you space the court and say, okay, guys, go to work with Gobert guarding the rim, he's a great rim protector, but it's particularly with Cat's guy, with the guy Cat is going to have to guard, can Karl Anthony Towns get out to the three-point line to contest and to play solid defense so he's not giving up wide-open pull-up jump shots or wide-open lanes to the rim? I understand Gobert is back there to protect the rim, but still, I don't think that they can defend in the half court at a high level during the regular season to get into the playoffs, on top of the fact that if you get that ball out of the basket and just go, I'm not sure if they can get back in time to set the defense up.
And your center won't guard the perimeter, and your power forward, your newly crowned power forward, can't guard the perimeter. So you're playing 5-on-3 on the wing.
I don't think.
I guarantee you that they're
I
going
think
to
that's
be
a worst case.
I promise you they're going to be a
scenario.
disappointment this year. And you let go. Peter's not a heart and soul guy, but Like this team was that team was a bunch of goofies before Patrick Beverly got there.
Patrick Beverly's the hardest soul of all these teams. Why does he keep getting traded? Why does he keep getting traded?
But guys like that make a difference on a team.
How many times you trade the heart and soul of a team?
I understand what you're saying. They gave away every dude that had an ounce.
He's been like traded, like the heart and soul just keeps getting shifted around.
Every dude on that team that had an ounce of fight in them is gone.
Like the Time Life collection, heart and soul. I believe I saw that one.
Free Agent Edwards, man. Get that dude out of there, man.
Reunited. I think that was on Heart and Soul. I'm pretty sure. I saw that was good.
If you're a competent franchise, you don't let that guy go though.
It's goofy, man. Like that's goofy.
Udonis Haslam is still on the Heat. He's been the heart and soul since I was in high school, baby. They never let him go.
Miami always has those guys.
Yeah,
PJ Tucker,
exactly.
Jay Crowder. There's always you got to have some guys to have some toughness on your team. Man.
You can't be the heart and soul if you're traded.
That team's gonna be trash.
You be there 1 year. You can't be
Peter.
No,
that's the trade. That's the trade you make.
The heart. Stop it.
That's the trade you make when you're in the hunt for a championship. When you trade that many future first round picks.
Yeah, I agree. Here, let me say this. Here is why they did it though. But here's why they did it. We could nobody's arguing that it's not an overpay. It's just a matter of will it be successful or not, or what even defines success. But this is how limited the success is. Okay, this is how low the bar is for this franchise. The Minnesota Timberwolves. I learned this from John Krasinski over the weekend. The guy covers the Timberwolves for The Athletic. The Timberwolves. And when you put it like this, it's so depressing. It's like watching Donnie Darko over and over again. The Timberwolves as a franchise, in 33 years, have been past the first round of the playoffs once.
Yeah, so trade all your future first-round picks
once.
And three of your high rotation players for freaking Rudy Gobert.
Let me say that again. 33 years, they've been past the first round one time. That means that they are desperate and they think this can at least get them past the first round of the playoffs, which it might. And that's the limited success. I don't even think you have to win a championship to be successful. If they get to the Western Conference Finals, they might have a parade.
Peter, I'll do you one better. I do believe they've only gotten in that 33-year history, playoffs they've gotten to without Kevin Garnett being on the team. I think they've been to two?
Twice, yeah.
Yeah. So, they are a miserable franchise.
It's depressing.
And all I'm saying is that this is the move miserable franchises make.
Exactly, man.
When they see a little bit of light and say, hey, what can we do? What can we do? Where can we make a splash? What can we do? And in their thirst to be a bit better than, okay, they sell their future and the attitude of that team. And we're arguing about different things, though, CJ, because you're right. Like I'm not no one. I think even the strongest Wolves fan would say this is an overpay. I mean, for sure. Like you could no one is. I don't think I've seen anyone say, "Man, it's great value for the Wolves." Like, no, it's an overpay, and they're saying like, oh, we're going to be really good, so those picks aren't really going to be that good. Where we plan to be good for the next 5 years, like everybody does when they trade their picks. Like, Atlanta did when they traded their picks for DeJounte Murray and all that. Oh, we plan to be good, so those picks aren't going to be. I'm not saying. I'm just where we all disagree is that I think it's going to be fine and probably even good in the regular season. And you guys don't. That's just what it comes down to. Like I think either one of us think it's going to be that good in the playoffs because I don't think it's going to be that good.
It's the worst trade I've ever seen in my life. Like I don't see how anybody can see this as not being terrible.
I don't think you can't say that yet. You can't say that yet.
Picks for Rudy Gobert.
Man, if they get to the Western Conference Finals, it's immediately not the worst trade ever. Like for it to be the worst trade ever, they have to miss the playoffs they have to have zero success.
What
or if
team
he gets hurt or something crazy.
Taken to the Western Conference Finals? Where's that team?
No, I agree. I agree. This is like you're taking two teams in the Jazz that have had Gobert and underachieved in the playoffs,
because
and then the Wolves with Towns and underachieved, and you're trying to sort of mush it together because you think their areas of underachievement kind of overlap, and they end up actually working well together. That's what they think. I don't know. It's
the worst trade I've ever seen.
Hey, did the Knicks trade for Eddie Curry, or did they get him in free agency?
The Knicks
free agency, I believe. I believe they signed Eddie Curry.
Okay.
Man,
I'm trying to think of a bad
Eddie
trade.
Curry to Rudy Gobert. That's what
Eddie Curry.
I don't know what.
I'm trying to think of a bad trade.
Eddie Curry.
Man, this is horrible.
What if they trade Karl Anthony Towns, y'all?
I hadn't thought about that.
What if they end up flipping to Anthony Towns?
That would be the dumbest.
No, they actually traded. No, they traded. Chicago traded Curry to the Knicks in 2005 for a bunch of first round picks.
Yeah, that's the worst trade. That's it.
Yeah.
You hit the nail on the head, CJ. These are the type of moves that bad organizations make.
For sure. I'm not, again, I just think it's going to be successful to a limited degree. I think it's going to be a limited amount of success.
Success, and I want to make sure we're clear on this. With this franchise, success is getting to the playoffs, and it's a big success if they get out of the second round. If they get
Correct.
To the
Success being like they have at least 1 year where they make like a little bit of noise in the playoffs. Like that's about it. That's about it. I think that counts as success. Like they haven't made it's been 20 years since they made the playoffs 2 years in a row. We are talking like the success level is
trash.
The line for success is very, very low.
We saw that when
very low.
Were crying.
This is not the Lakers. This is not the Lakers making this, where you got like in the Celtics where you got the title after title and all. No, this is not that. This is a terrible team and a horrible franchise that got new owners that want to make a splash, and here's the splash. So there you go.
Can I say something to kind of sum up how I feel about all this? And I try to make these things simple. If I'm a struggling franchise, I'm a struggling organization. The last thing I'm gonna do is sit up and say, okay, you know what? Let me add a guy who plays a position that's almost obsolete in 2022, a non-scoring, rim-running big who makes $40 million a year, and let me give away 5 first-round picks for the same guy who couldn't even stay on the court in the playoffs. Like you said, CJ, that's the type of moves that stupid teams make. So I don't see how anybody can look at this and think it makes sense.
We'll see. Do you like the Atlanta DeJounte Murray trade better?
Yes, because I think he's Trae Young insurance. I'm fine with saying that.
Yeah, no, that's a lot for insurance, man.
Yeah, I know. But
it's amazing how many unprotected firsts are being traded after years of firsts being like just gold dust. Like you could not trade any. Now there's like, oh yeah, absolutely, let's get these unprotected firsts out of them. It's wild to me. I don't know what's happened, man.
Trae Young just moves so weird, man. To come out and say, yeah, we're bad because we're just kind of bored. And his energy just sucked in the playoffs to me too. I'm like, yeah, that dude's about to get up out of here. But that's where I'm at with it. That DeJounte Murray thing makes more sense in that way than anything else anybody can say.
Well, CJ, what do you expect tonight? Summer League, the opener, Grizzlies with what I look like a pretty good Summer League roster. Quite honestly, I think they're going to win the Summer League this year. Salt Lake City doesn't really count. It's kind of an opener, a little amuse bouche, as it were. So, what do you think?
I am more interested in player development, player growth than I am in winning Summer League. I think everybody is. I look forward to seeing Lofton. I remember this time last year thinking, okay, Lofton goes to Louisiana Tech. Why in the hell is he on the Team USA under 18, under 19 team? Let's sit down and watch these dudes play. I remember watching them with the best players at that age in the world, with Chet and with what's my man's name from France? Wembanyama, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Wembanyama.
That guy, Wembanyama, who everybody's projecting as a first overall pick in the NBA. Well, not everybody. Some are projecting as a first overall pick. And consistently, I watched like 3 or 4 games. Consistently, the player that popped was Lofton when he was on the court. I'm curious to see what he is at this level because I honestly don't know. I also want to see the growth of Zaire. Remember, it was about this time last year in Summer League when Desmond Bane began to pop off the screen like, oh, no. This guy shouldn't be here, right? And it ended up being a premonition of things to come during the season for Desmond Bane when you think about the leap that he took. So I am really interested to see what Zaire does with this opportunity. They say they're going to put him more on the ball and let him be more of a playmaker in Summer League. So, okay, let's see what Zaire has, and let's see if this is something that kind of kickstarts year 2 for Zaire Williams.
And let's find out tonight, 6:00. Sixers will be the opener, and then we'll go from there. Lots of Summer League for the next couple of weeks. A little hoop for the summer. Thank you, CJ. Tell your wife we said hello.
I can't stand y'all. I'm done. I'm never coming back.
There you go.
That's it.
Make sure you give us that new address.
Hang up the phone
when you move.
That's right. Yeah, we need that. Invite us to the housewarming party. I'm sure your wife.
We warm your house up.
That's right. She'll invite us. Don't worry about it.
Man said warm your house up.
We'll come back. And we will continue. I'll talk a little college football, some news. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
Time.
It's crazy what's happening. It is wild times in college football. We'll talk about it. We continue. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 98.5.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus of Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Hey, I'm Jackie, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the chicken. It is golden brown, so juicy, so delicious. It's the perfect savory start to my day.
Hey, I'm Matt, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit is the freshly baked, flaky, buttery biscuit. When I take a bite, it's kind of like, crispy, soft, crispy. Crispy outside, soft interior, crispy chicken. There's really nothing like it.
Start your day with the Chick-fil-A chicken biscuit, available on the Chick-fil-A app. Real Chick-fil-A guests paid for their testimonials.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. There's no place like home, Town Village.
Now, back to Grind Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Saint.
Oh, baby. I don't even know where to... It's hard to know where to kind of begin on this college football world, man.
Begin.
I don't even know because, the whole thing's on tilt. After UCLA and USC, they're moving to the Big Ten in 2 years. That means the whole thing is now just on tilt. Everyone is on notice. If you're not a big dog team, you are in trouble. If you are, you're making sure that you're positioned properly. But if you're not, then you are just scrambling to try to figure out what's going on. And if you're the Pac-12 right now, you really are trying to figure out how to maintain relevance. How do you still maintain any kind of awareness of people caring about you? Their media deal was was really a disaster by their previous AD Larry Scott, and they've got George Kliavkov, who's their AD or their commissioner now, trying to figure this thing out. But they have authorized this morning they've authorized their teams and their membership committees and all to go out. They've already said they're trying to expand out, but they're also authorizing new TV deals, trying to get new TV deals locked up. Which now, those that are in the TV business estimate that of the $500 million generated by their previous deal, about $200 million of that came from USC and UCLA. Those two teams are about 40% of their entire thing. So you take that big chunk out, and you replace it with what? Do you go after teams in the Big 12? There's nobody independent that can do anything to move the needle at all. Boise State, Fresno State, San Diego State, San Jose State. That doesn't do anything. Those are not teams that have any relevance whatsoever from a national standpoint. So if you're the Pac-12 and that tells me that they're trying to lock up a deal. But if you're a TV company, like what are you buying? Like, are you sure that Oregon isn't going to go? Like, what if the SEC calls Oregon?
They're gone.
They're gone. They're gone. What if they call, like, I think Oregon, Arizona State, maybe Washington, those are the ones that probably have the most juice for an SEC or a Big Ten. What are you selling for the Pac-12? Like, that's why I think the conference is, this is kind of raging against the dying of the light. Yeah, I admire their spunkiness, but like, I don't think there's much out for them. I don't see what they do in this next media deal that's worth doing, and I don't see these other schools necessarily wanting to stick around for a fee reduction and all that. I think your Oregons of the world that have some thoughts that they are amongst the very elite. I don't want to stick around in this bargain basement conference anymore.
Yeah, and I'm sure that the television companies are also hesitant to deal with these guys, like you said, anyway, because they don't know what's next. And I'm sure that the SECs, the Big Tens, I'm sure they told the TV companies, "Hey, this is what we plan on doing." You know what I mean? I'm sure that they're.
Well, I think it's probably the other. I think it's honestly probably the other way around.
Yeah,
like I think
exactly.
I think the TV companies are the ones saying, "Look, we'd really like to see you guys try this." Yeah. Maybe if you added this team, we might really be able to renegotiate and the whole the TV's what's running this show. Fox mostly with Big Ten. That's pretty much Fox's baby. Yeah, ESPN owns all of the SEC rights now. So that's definitely an ESPN thing. So it's kind of an ESPN versus Fox proxy war with these teams playing the part. I mean, they don't care about, like, you're going to bring in, like, Fresno State?
Yeah, and all that regional stuff's got to be over. You just got to go get good teams at this point, man. Like,
exactly. And I mean, and it sucks to some degree for the regional, like, appreciation of college football is definitely gone. But it's been gone for a while. Yep. Like, honestly, like, it's been gone for a while. The charm, the regional charms, all that stuff, that's been gone for a while.
Yeah.
This is the final nail in the coffin.
I think we're headed.
It's been gone for a while.
Eli Savoy, host of Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston, he brought this up. He says he thinks the 220-team leagues are coming, and you're going to have 140-team,
That's what I said. That's what I said last week. I said it's going to be basically – yeah. I said 2020. I said they'll add – a handful more each, 20, it'll be in that neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's basically going to be NFC, AFC, just like it is in the NFL. NFC's, mostly Fox, AFC's mostly, CBS, ESPN. But with some, there's some other ESPN, it'll be like that. And they're going to totally separate themselves from the rest of college football.
And it's going to be way bigger than the Power 5 and everyone else. It's going to be even bigger. Yeah. It's going to feel even bigger than this.
It's the Power 2. And the moderately powerful 3 or 2, I don't know if 3 are going to last.
Yeah.
The mediocre 2, and then the non-existent rest of it. That's what it's going to be.
Yeah, man. Nasty.
It is. We'll talk. We may get into that and where Memphis stands in that with Steven Johnson. We'll also talk a little Tiger basketball and a little bit more about Summer League too with Steven Johnson as we continue here live from the Family Leisure Studios on a very hot 100-plus degree Tuesday in the Bluff City. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56 98.5.
If you have damage to your home and have your insurance carrier involved, you need a great contractor. You also need a team that has seen claims of all shapes and sizes, residential or commercial. After our inspection, we'll share our findings and give you our professional opinion. Some people say you get what you pay for. However, our opinion is free. Trust the name you can depend on, like the tens of thousands of families Brian and I have served over the past 20 years here in the Mid-South. Brian Elder Roofing. We'll measure your roof from outer space and share our team's experience for your property and claim. Repaired roofs, replacement roofs, big roofs, tiny roofs, insurance roofs, flat roofs, TPO roofs, asphalt roofs, tile roofs, slate roofs, metal roofs. If your roof needs some love, call me. 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing and Contracting.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Getaway Sports Bar, the best kept secret in town, open noon to 1:30 a.m. 7 days a week. Garvin, the owner, created this SEC NFL Dream Bar over 20 years ago. You'll never miss a minute of action. 10 TVs, 5 70-inch TVs for all the big games. Rack them up on 6 pool tables. Coldest beer in town, grab you a pool stick and get you some good bar grub. 100% Angus burgers, big and moist chicken tenders. Daily happy hour Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. with long neck domestics, 225 Getaway Sports Bar, 4632 Winchester.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Remember the song, The Times They Are A-Changin'? This is Sheldon Rosengarten with Marks Bensdorf Realtors, and that is exactly what has happened in the real estate business. That is why I team up with Kelly Erb, or Hugh Mallory, or Elizabeth Kulo, Melanie Simpson, or Diane Balkin. With one of them as a marketing partner and my old self as a point person, we have taken the changing real estate market and turned it into our benefit and our clients. Today, we talk about escalation and appraisal gap clauses, bidding wars, and which is the best deal for our client. And what you see is not always what you get. Most people call me Shell Dunn because they've heard that when you want the job done, call Shell Dunn. So before you make a move in real estate, remember to talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers, but make sure I'm one of them. Reach me, Sheldon Rosengarten, Shell Dunn, at memphisrelocate.com or 483-0546. That's 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Oh, yeah. Now, back to Grind Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
It's not your situation. I just need contemplation. I'm not so systematic.
What you know about that?
Oh, I mean, I know the same thing I knew last week. This is an every week thing we play.
Yeah, you like it?
I do. I play y'all's favorite songs to put you in great moods. It's the personal vibe, Pete. I got crates, Pete. Don't act like I ain't got crates.
No. You got. Listen. You got an incredible reach. I'm not worried about that.
Trying to
Texas said they think you high on firework gunpowder from some of the stuff you said about his Minnesota trade.
Well, that makes
they think
two
I
of
am?
us.
Yeah.
That makes 2 of us. I'm with Pete on
Y'all
this.
are drunk.
I'm with Pete on this one.
Why would you give all that away for a dude that you can't even play
It's
in the
big
playoffs?
boy ball, man.
And he's like an idiot.
We just talked about this. I'm not. I don't want to because we got to talk to Steven, but I'm just gonna say as we welcome you back, hour number 2, Pete and Sam with you. Hot, crazy hot Tuesday. The Gobert trade. No one would say it was good value. Nobody. There's not even the most optimistic Timberwolves fan would tell you that was a good deal. But I understand the mindset of and how they're going to play him with. I think that's going to work a lot better than you do. That's especially in the regular season. I'm not convinced in the postseason, but in the I think they'll be a 50-win team easily.
Free Anthony Edwards. Hashtag.
Oh, he's going to be free.
Yep.
He's going to score. He's going to be great.
Pick and roll, baby.
He's going to love it. He's going to love it because he's a good defender, and he knows that behind him he's got the best rim protector. I mean, him and Jaren, and there's a few guys that are in the absolute elite of rim protection, and he's up there.
Preach, Pete. Preach.
I would have tried it with Walker Kessler before I gutted everything before.
I mean, come on, man. Come on. Walker, come on. Walker Kessler was destined to be a Utah Jazz.
Absolutely.
Look at that guy. He was destined to be a Jazzman.
And poor Patrick Beverly, man. Like 2 years in a row, he goes
the heart and soul. Good Lord.
Like what's next for Patrick Beverly? The Pacers.
Ugh.
I mean, he's
gonna be the heart and soul of this team too.
Can a brother be around some black people? I mean, can he be around some black people, man? I mean, 2 years in a row, he's shipped out to Siberia.
Perhaps he's not that good.
Who? Not trying to act like y'all know I don't think Patrick Beverly's that good, but acting like guys like that don't matter.
The soul of his team. He's the
grit and grind.
He's the heart. He's the thirsty dog. Arr, 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 give me
All
that.
right.
Arr, arr, give me that ball.
How good were the Timberwolves before you got there?
I'll let you know once we finish with Steven Johnson. I'll let you know their records.
Thinking them dudes to give you an identity like that don't matter. You crazy.
Arr, arr, arr. The identity's arr, arr, arr. That's the identity. Arr.
Dog face gremlin.
Arr, 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 arr. What these T-Wolves want from a player.
Folks gonna suck next year. Can't wait.
Come on, man. Steven Johnson joins us now on the programs. Hey, Steven, what did you make of the Timberwolves trade? What did you make of the Timberwolves trade?
I think on the court, I think I'm like you. I can see what they're thinking in terms of kind of letting Cat just be more of a forward, as much as he likes to play out there and things like that. It is a lot of draft compensation, and I don't know in the playoffs what exactly they're going to do, because as great as a rim protector as Rudy has been, you know, there have been matchups in the playoffs where even he gets exploited. So I'm not sure what you're going to do with both of them on the court. I think they'll be better, but I don't know. That's a lot to give up for Rudy. So I guess I can see. To me, it depends on how good Edwards becomes. If he becomes the type of player I think he can be, I think you guys think he can be a special player too, then I think it'll work out. But it's okay, I guess. I'll give it a C. C+. Because I think they'll be a little bit better in the regular season.
I give it an H for hell now.
All right, so let me ask you this then. I was talking about this early in the show with Darian, and it feels like this summer, you know, I suspect that you were probably expecting or hoping that, you know, there would be some time where things would kind of cool off for the Tigers, and you might get a few moments here and there to just kind of do some stuff and take a vacation, take a little relaxing time. But it almost feels intentional that the Tigers have managed to stay in the news almost week to week. Do you think there is, with somebody as savvy as Penny and his awareness of, you know, the media game, is there an intentionality to the fact the Tigers keep kind of spacing some of this stuff out to maintain a presence in the news over the entire summer?
I think that's interesting, but for me, I think there was a period, maybe right after the season, it was kind of the NCAA. We had the bombshell with the violations or whatever. Then it felt like for a good month or so after that, it kind of felt like things have got really quiet for maybe about a month or so. But then they just kind of rapidly picked up. So I don't know if that was him being, you know, his media savvy self. Is more so like he kind of talked to us and said he was going to start picking up the pace on both players and coaches and things of that nature. So I think that was just kind of part of the plan, that he knew these last couple of weeks would be the crucial part for the program. They made a couple hires, kind of finish out the rest of their recruiting class. So I think it was just more so Penny's plan instead of kind of, you know, trying to make sure the program's in the spotlight.
Is there any update on Larry Brown, his situation with the team? We know, of course, it pretty much feels like he's not coming back. Have you heard anything official on it?
Nothing official, but my understanding just from talking to people that it seems more and more that we're going to head for a situation where I'm not sure if Larry will be on the bench. I still think he'll be with the program, but I think there's going to be some type of adjustments to his role. Like I'm not sure he'll be on the bench traveling to all the games like he was last year. So I think he's either going to leave or he's going to have a much more reduced role. And then obviously they still got a guy like JJ on the bench if they still want to keep him on staff as a consultant, or what does Alabama normally do with those head coaches that get fired? They bring them on as like an analyst or something like that.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So something like that could be in the works. So that's what I'm thinking. But I don't think he'll be on the bench next year, just from what I heard.
You wrote an analysis piece that ran over the weekend about Penny Hardaway and his what you term his growth as a coach based on his off-season acquisitions and the things that he has done. I read it. I think you make some good points, and I think it's definitely well well reasoned, and it's definitely worth people checking out. Can you give people a little bit of a synopsis of your analysis of Penny and what you take from an off season of somewhat kind of a tumultuous off season?
Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing for me was last year, like, make no mistake, it was his most successful year. They got to the tournament, they beat Houston, beat Alabama. But we all know about the drama, on the court, behind the scenes. I think he understood that even though there was success that came with this approach of bringing in the big recruiting class, the veterans, and including in some more transfers, I think he understood that wasn't sustainable going forward. So he basically pressed the reset button and brought in nothing but almost seniors, basically. I think everybody they brought in except Kennedy is some type of senior, fifth year, or some cases even longer than that. Then obviously with his coaches, we had talked about this like all summer, like who's he going to identify, who's he going to bring in. I don't think any of us wanted him to kind of take another chance on the NBA guy that's only going to be here for a season or two. So he brings in Coach Haight, who obviously has head coaching experience, and then Coach Phillips, who I think is another guy that's very well respected and got his experience with Jerry Stackhouse up in Vanderbilt. So I think he pivoted from some of the things that he wanted to make the program into. Obviously, he wanted to kind of sell it on NBA experience, getting the one and dones and things of that nature. But I think he made a big pivot just to kind of keep things, find that success again next year, but not have to deal with all the stress and all the egos and chemistry problems.
You also talked about how Memphis is one of the better teams as far as getting guys paid, man, with the NIL stuff and things like that. What do you think leads to Memphis being one of those top programs as far as getting brand compensation for their athletes?
I think the market helps. Obviously it's a pretty big brand in a pretty big city. So I think there are more opportunities. When you look at some of the other schools that are not, non-Power 5 schools, I think there are more opportunities here in Memphis than, say, whatever your old town in Mississippi or Georgia. No shade to y'all, excuse me. But so I think the size of the city helps. I think the passion helps as well, too. And I think Memphis was very proactive and kind of, getting ahead of this. Like, they're partnering with Open Doors, Maxim UM. They kind of set those programs up very early with the legislation coming out. I don't think they were one of the schools to kind of drag their feet. So I think it's great for Memphis. You have to be competitive in the NIL. And I was surprised to see them that highly ranked. I think they were top 10 in one category. So it was a great year for them. And I think it's only going to get better because the 901 Fund, the collective helping set it up some of these NIL deals with charities, they didn't see it start until just a couple months ago. So Memphis had a great NIL first year for sure.
The way that the Tigers NIL, and you talked about how it's a big, it's a big team in a pretty big city, especially when you compare it to the rest of college sports. But how does that affect, in specifically the men's basketball? How is that going to be affected by what we're seeing in college sports right now? It's football driven, but it's college. You're talking about the Big Ten now adding UCLA, USC, unthinkable even like a week ago to see something like that, and now it has actually happened. It's already done, and that leads now to a very destabilized Pac-12, which means they're going to be either breaking apart or trying to reach out for some other teams. The Big 12 now, same kind of thing, where they're sort of everyone is behind the SEC and the Big Ten, even the rest of the so-called Power 5. How does this affect men's basketball specifically with the University of Memphis?
Well, like you said, football drives so much of this. So obviously, I think even if Penny continues on the track he is and get Memphis back to where it was kind of one of those big brands in college basketball, there's only so much value it's going to bring in terms of making the school more attractive to get into. I think at this point we're going to have like 4 super conferences with, 16 or 20 teams in each. Obviously, Memphis doesn't want to get left out. But, I think what can happen with the basketball program, having Penny, this is a basketball city. I think it can bring value to what Memphis can offer to maybe a Big 12 or maybe, who knows, an ACC. Because I think everybody is going to be an option for these conferences just because you're trying to grab whatever market, whatever extra money you can get to make yourself more attractive to the TV companies. So I think it will have some value, but I think at the end of the day, it will really help if Memphis if both the basketball and the football program are kind of building themselves into like these national type brands at the same time.
Could you see a situation where Memphis links up with some of these other teams that are left out and try to start some type of basketball super conference? Could something like that? I don't even know if that could even work. Like where you could have teams who are in football they're affiliated one way and basketball they're in another. Could you see something like that going down?
Potentially, because right now I really wonder what does USC and UCLA move to the Big Ten? Like what does that do? Does that push Memphis down the pecking order? Because I think there was maybe kind of a hope, I should say, that the next round of realign with the Big 12, maybe a Memphis and a Boise State would be able to get into the Big 12. But now that you got the Arizona schools, Utah, Colorado, so I honestly think those moves might push Memphis down a bit on the totem pole. And if it comes to the situation where they realize, hey, we might not be able to get in before they form whatever the future of college football looks like. So I think that would be an interesting concept. If they could find the right amount of teams and the right brands, I think it potentially work. But I think that'll be easier said than done. But I think it's a fascinating idea. And I think, at this point, anything is on the table. Because 2 weeks ago, I wouldn't have thought it was possible that USC and UCLA would have been in the Big Ten.
I mean, it's crazy to think about. It's really wild, and I don't know where we're headed specifically, but I think we can all agree that there's some sort of consolidation coming at the top, and whether it's 4 conferences, I personally am of the opinion it's going to be 2. We were talking about that last segment, and I think Eli Savoy's talked about this before. The idea being you end up with a monster SEC that adds 4 more teams from somewhere, whether it's like Oregon, Oklahoma State, maybe Clemson, Florida State, maybe North Carolina and Duke. I don't know. I mean, I think it's all on the board now. And then you have the Big Ten adding, 4 or so more, and you end up with 220 or 222 or somewhere in that neighborhood team. And I think the rest of it is just going to fall by the wayside. I just wonder how this is going to affect the NCAA tournament, because that is still, governed by the NCAA. It's still the men's tournament is still the far and away primary source of income, for the NCAA as an organization. But if these conferences are all, screwed around like this, that's going to make it a little awkward, I think, when it comes to tournament time.
Yeah, that's a great point. Honestly, I never really thought about that because you would still have these same 20, 22 team conferences in basketball. I'm sure. I would think.
Yeah,
so,
which is going to be crazy. Like that's going to be how you do that in basketball?
That's a great point. I mean, it works well with. I shouldn't say works well. It makes sense, and you can see how it would work in football if you just basically get the top 40, top 42 teams and put them in these 2 conferences and make basically almost have your own version of the NFL. But basketball, I definitely think it's a lot more tricky just because how are you going to figure that out? Seeding and things like that. That's a great point, and I haven't seen anybody actually talk about that just because I think everybody is so focused on who's next, what type of money is involved. So that's actually a great point.
Well, I think also like, if you're thinking about like a 20 team or a 22 team SEC, for example, do you play? I mean, I assume you have divisions. Do you have 4 divisions? And you play like in that division, and then you play some others, but you can't play everybody. You can't play everybody every year. So a little bit like football, where you might not play every team every year. Or is it a situation where now, because we've talked about it, and Penny's talked about it too with scheduling. On the football side, especially, it's tough. But even on the basketball side, it can be tricky to get the games that you need in a non-conference situation when you're not in the Power 5. Well, now imagine if you're not in the Power 2. It may well be that these teams almost schedule within themselves amongst these 40 or so teams to kind of build this schedule out. I could certainly see that just from a simplicity standpoint, and you could easily fill up a 30-game college basketball schedule or 35 or whatever you need with just those teams in those 2 big conferences.
I wouldn't be surprised that they start off doing that some type in football, especially whenever, because I think we're getting past 16. I think for sure, and probably both of those leagues. So whenever they kind of get whenever the dust settles on that and they have their 20, their 18, whatever the case may be, I wouldn't be surprised they just even break away from whatever's left of the Big 12, the Pac-12, even the ACC, and just start doing that in football. So I think it could work in basketball too, and that might actually be the only choice, just because I don't know. I just don't know how you're going to be in the NCAA, how you're going to even kind of be able to grade like a 20-team SEC versus, I don't know how many leagues are in the AAC now, 12, 11 or something like that. That's going to be, it's about to be wild. I'm intrigued to see what happens next, though.
We got a question from one of our texters on the AutoZone listener line, 901-360-8255. Reggie says, is Penny going after any other players this year, to your knowledge, to play this season?
I don't believe so. I should say, if somebody pops up, I think the Tigers will pursue them, but I don't think they're going after anybody heavily right now. If I had to guess, I would say they will probably stand pat with their 5-man transfer class they have right now. And this is like they're kind of starting to turn the focus to 2023 and some of those future classes.
Any word on Alo? We ask you every week.
If Alo wants to come back, he'll be back. I know he's been rehabbing. I think he had a couple surgeries, so I don't think he's been with the team in some of their workouts, but he's been rehabbing. I would assume to kind of rehabbing for surgery to his ankle. We know those would bother him during the season. So I still think he'll be back. Obviously, they've kind of put it in his hands. So, like I said, I would be shocked if he's anywhere else, but that's the latest I've been told. So.
This is. I just already sense the discussions we're going to have, Stephen. I just feel it. It's coming. We're not there yet, obviously, but about November, midway through November, I'm at one of those first big non-conference games, and it's like, why did Alo play 28 minutes? And you're like, man, I don't know. I can't figure it out. I feel it. I feel it in my bones. It's you just go ahead and start writing that piece now to get ahead of the game.
And quietly, Memphis has, I think the way things are setting up, Memphis will have a challenging non-conference schedule. As always. But yeah, I could see that coming, especially they play Auburn or somebody like that, and he ends up playing like 25. Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well, we're going to get there. Make no mistake about it. We're going to get there. All right, Steven, last thing. What are you playing? What are you playing now? You still on third, fourth playthrough of Elden Ring? Are you done?
No, I'm almost done with my second playthrough now. I'm kind of nothing's really been now that caught my eye. Elden Ring just took so much out of me that it's kind of hard to turn my attention to anything else right now. So it's really just
It's all encompassing, man. It really is.
If I'm not playing Elden Ring, I'm playing NHL. So,
okay, I'm telling you, get that new Turtles game. That's a nice little. It's a total different, just a fun little vibe to get you away from Elden Ring for a little bit. Fun little beat 'em up.
I need to get away from it. I might run God of War back. It was free, so.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, you can do that too. That's right. Enjoy that PS5. People still can't get PS5s. This thing's been out for like 2 years now. What are we doing out here, everybody? Come on, start making this stuff. All right, Steven Johnson, thank you. Everybody follow Steven on Twitter and watch him do his thing over at the Daily Memphian. He's terrific. He is Steven Johnson. Thanks, Steven.
I appreciate y'all.
I appreciate it. Steven Johnson joins us every Tuesday to talk Tigers, and as we said, there's been no shortage of stuff to talk about. It's been absolutely insane over the last little bit with the Tigers. All right, we're going to talk a little Summer League when we come back because we got the Summer League action beginning in just a matter of hours, Anthony saying. Under 4 hours until we see the brand new rookie Grizzlies making their non-competitive debuts. We'll talk about that when we continue here. Real Sports Talk, Sports 56.98.5.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for everything you need for tailgates and patios. Grills and chairs, charcoal and coolers. Everything to make a great game or a great day. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It's East Memphis Ace Hardware. Locally owned and operated at Quince and White Station, East Memphis Ace Hardware is where you'll find Benjamin Moore paints, local plants from local growers, and Black & Decker tools. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their tailgates. Welcome to East Memphis Ace Hardware, the home convenience store.
Welcome to Allstate, where you can save just by being you. DriveWise and the Allstate mobile app gives you personalized driving feedback, and by adding it to your policy, you can save for driving safe just by being yourself. Allstate. Here, better protection costs a whole lot less. You're in good hands with Allstate. Click, call, or visit allstate.com to save today.
Not available in every state. Savings based on DriveWise and other safe driving discounts. Savings vary. Subject to terms and conditions. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Swerving, speeding, and reckless driving can leave you in your own dust. Drag racing has its consequences. You can lose your driving privileges, your vehicle, face jail time, or even lose or take a life. So slow down, Memphis. The life you save may be your own. Brought to you by the Memphis Police Department, Traffic Operations.
Now, back to Grind Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sane.
One look at you and look at the sky like Come on now.
They ain't ready for it.
They're not ready for it. They're never ready for it. None of them are ready for it, man. Can't be ready for this.
I'm not even gonna name the people who really ain't ready for it. But you know they ready. You know they running from it though.
Oh, that's yeah. I mean, they're gonna say, Jessica's in Salt Lake City for the Grizzlies.
All
whatever.
that kind of stuff. They had the whole
whatever.
all this time, you know.
Salt Lake City is not going to be ready for Rudy Gobert because I have your records for the past 2 years with the Minnesota Timberwolves, man. What do you mean? It's me and Pete against the world right now. 23 and 49.
That's right.
2 years ago, and just last year, 46 and 36. The trajectory says they're moving up, so they're doubling down on the defense. They're saying Anthony Edwards is your world, squirrel.
So you get rid of 2 of your starters and
Anthony Edwards,
a high rotation player.
You think so highly of Ja? Why don't you think the same of Anthony Edwards? 3rd year's the charm.
Because it's Minnesota.
Okay,
because we in Minnesota now.
We were Memphis. A wise man named Peter told me, "Hey, you're only as good as your superstar is because you have a superstar. They will pay attention."
Are we really comparing the way like that we built to Minnesota?
All right, I believe in that formidable front court. I do. I'm with
Y'all got it.
Big Cat's a 4, man. Anyway, you know that. He's a 4. He's soft.
It's going to be...
I feel like I'm in the twilight. I literally feel like I'm in the twilight zone when I hear people talking about Minnesota. Like, when have y'all seen a center say go backwards? Like, oh, no, now he's a 4. When does that happen?
What if their coach is smarter than all of us?
yeah, we saw that this year, too. Yeah, I forgot he is the guy that was the super smart coach. Yeah. I don't see it. If it happens, good for them, but no. Whatever happens, it ain't worth giving away 5 first-round picks. I don't give a crap what you do.
Well, that I think we can all agree on there.
It was a reach, but it'll work. Sure. Watch, it'll work.
Now, here's my thing, though. And it's before we talk about the summer league, the expansion stuff continues to be wild. Dennis Dodd reporting that the Big 12 is involved in deep discussions to add multiple Pac-12 programs as a way to shore up its membership in the wake of the USC and UCLA defection to the Big 10. So at least 4 teams are being considered with the potential for the Big 12 to add more. Arizona, Arizona State, Colorado, and Utah were mentioned specifically as the teams being targeted by the Big 12. So the Big 12 is trying to become, and they said there's also consideration of adding Oregon and Washington to make it an 18-team league. So Big 12 adds 4 more, then that becomes another 16. I still think Oregon is probably headed towards the I don't know. SEC just seems like Oregon to me, but I don't. If if you feel that the Big 12 is sniffing around these conferences and these schools, if you're the SEC, I think Oregon has enough value. I think they're worth going after, and I think some of the other schools may not be, but I think they are. I think poaching from the ACC is also a possibility now, even though they've got a grant of rights for the media situation that's till 2036. There are certainly ways around all of that stuff. So, man, it's crazy. It's crazy right now, and it just continues to get wilder in the world of college football. Now, Grizzlies tonight, as we mentioned, they take on the Sixers, opening summer league. The roster is basically, the classic mix of second year of rookies, second year guys, and then a couple guys that you've never heard of at all, and then sometimes they have that surprise guy, the third year guy who's back. That's Xavier Tillman, who's back and playing because he needs the work. So you've got Kennedy Chandler, obviously, in the mix. You've got Vince Williams, and then you have the 2 first-round picks, Jake LaRavia and David Roddy. Also, you've got Zaire Williams, who is going to play Summer League, and I expect him to do some big things. Shaq Buchanan, just always there. You just know what would it be without Shaq Buchanan? And don't forget about Santi Aldama, who I think it's time for a big Summer League from Santi.
It better be a big one for Santi.
Anthony's saying, how do you watch Summer League? Like, what are you looking for?
Just pure entertainment. I just want to see guys add some wrinkle to their game. I don't really get super excited about what a guy does. But if a dude's sorry in Summer League, that means something to me. Like, if I don't get overexcited about guys going off, because a lot of times they're doing stuff that they won't even be allowed to do in the season or asked to do in the season. Because a lot of these guys, you put them in a pickup situation, which is basically what Summer League is, they'll look like Superman. But if you're out there looking sorry,
it's better than pickup. It's better than pickup.
It ain't
I
much
mean, there's more. There are more. I mean, I like the fact that they're actually doing the take foul rule, where it's basically a technical foul for a take foul.
Oh, really? They're doing it?
Yeah, they're doing that for Summer League, so that's nice. It's
But yeah, if you're looking like a bum, you might just be a bum.
I agree with you there. That I think the Summer League, it reminds me. I would liken it to, if you're talking golf, it's like the first round of the golf tournament. Like, you can't win, but you can definitely lose. You could play well in the first round, and people will be like, "Oh yeah, you know what? That kid, that's the guy's in pretty good position. It might be this will be interesting to watch over the next little bit." And then he might suck and fall out of contention, for the rest of the tournament. But I mean, it puts you in position. That's like these guys have major big time summer leagues. Like, oh man, okay, maybe he's going to be a big time superstar. Okay, maybe not. That might not happen. But if a guy shoots 15 over, he ain't winning. Doesn't matter what happens. If you go to Summer League and you are just awful, then chances are it's probably not going to be great for you.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's always super fun for me to watch. Whatever. I don't really look at anything about it too serious, but I just kind of see how guys look playing with other guys on their skill level, guys that are pro or pro-ish level talent. I have a very unpopular opinion, though. I'm about to channel my Isaac Simpson on this.
Okay.
I don't think he's going to look bad at all. But I don't think that Zaire Williams is going to look like this amazing player. I think he's going to look like he's better than the guys on the court even. But I don't think you're just going to see a ton added to his game. I kind of think he kind of is what he is. I think he's a kind of a guy who's always going to feed off of other guys that are better than him. I don't really think he's going to be out there looking like some dominant player where you can kind of give him the ball and he goes does stuff. I don't think that's what we're going to see today. And I know a lot of people are kind of anticipating to see that. I'm like, I don't see that happen. I'd love to be wrong on that, but that wasn't too Isaac Simpson, was it? What you thought?
It was Simpsonian. There was definitely
I'm leaving some space for a letdown. I don't think a lot of fans are doing it with him. I think fans are thinking he's going to come out there looking like Paul George or Jason Tatum.
I think he's going to look real good. I think it's going to look like Desmond Bain did last year in the summer league, which was really good.
Desmond Bain looked freaking incredible last year, man. Like, I don't know. I don't see that. I'm not expecting to see that from him. I want to be wrong so bad because if he goes off, I'm going to lose my mind. But I kind of think he's going to be kind of feeding off other dudes a little bit. I don't see him kind of being that guy out there. But, boy, I want to be wrong. Trust me.
He's the one I definitely want. I definitely want him to. It's always a good sign when it's like Bain last year when it's obviously he's the best. He's too good for summer league. Like they shut him down because it was like, nah, there's no point. You won. You got past.
Yeah, and I'm
it
not
would be
saying
a
he
win.
won't look like that. I'm not saying he's not going to look like one of the best dudes out there. But I just don't. I think people kind of think, yeah, man, Zaire's going to go off. Like, I don't even know if he's.
Well, I mean,
kind of guy.
go off is relative. Like, because I don't know that he's necessarily. I expect him to shoot well from three, which is the thing I really want to see. I want to see him, shoot high 30s or better from the 3-point line. I want to see him, consistently. Maybe show a little handle to his game. That'd be nice. A little mid-range game would be nice. Continue the growth. Defensively is always a little more of a challenge in summer league because it's hard to know, exactly how seriously guys are taking the defensive side of the ball. I want to see what position they kind of play him in and how they use him. All those things are important to watch. None of I don't think he's going to be the summer league MVP. But I also think he's going to look good. Like he's going to look really good. Like he's going to be like, okay, yeah, this guy is for sure going to be a significant rotation player in the whole thing. That's what I think you're going to see. And to me, that's the better. That's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you want, stick around for the Chet Holmgren's debut as the Thunder take on the Jazz in the nightcap of that doubleheader. Summer League doubleheader.
Thought you were gonna say Summer League makes you feel fine. Yeah, that's where I
Summer
thought you were going.
Makes me feel fine. Throwing up some bad shots in my mind.
Throw it down the line every time.
Sweet days of summer, the Grizzlies in bloom.
I'm watching Zaire highlights in college, right, which look phenomenal.
Shaq Buchanan and Ja. Man, Shaq Buchanan just
is he on the Summer League roster?
Yes.
If y'all would hear me
Oh my goodness.
hear me talking about Shaq Buchanan, I want that guy's life so bad.
Shaq Buchanan is the first name on any Grizzly, any Thunder any Hustle / Summer League / non-competitive Grizzly, anything that's not. He's the first name on that.
Yeah.
Anything that's close to preseason squad, all that stuff, preseason roster. Yeah, he's the first name on it.
The most taken care of dude in the world. Like I'm hating on. Seriously. Like if I could say, who's like sports life would I want to live? Give me like the off the grid dude. Like don't really have much responsibility. Can kind of live anonymously or whatever. And yeah, man.
That's Ty with Jay-Z. That's Spliff Star with Busta Rhymes.
Yeah.
And now that's Shaq Buchanan with John Moran.
Shaq Buchanan is like, if I could be anybody, I'd be Shaq Buchanan. He's living the NBA lifestyle, but he's not really an NBA player. Like you know what I mean? He probably never will be. But he'll be taken care of by the Memphis Grizzlies for as long as John Moran is here. He'll be taken care of.
When Josh said Rollies for the whole gang, he was first.
Yeah, and he hangs out with y'all all the time. He's traveling NBA lifestyle. Like he's that dude, man, for sure. I'm mad.
Pete said anything non-competitive. He said anything.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. Kickball,
say he's number one.
Kickball. He's number one on that list. He is right there.
Employee Christmas party.
Now, if he couldn't hoop, if he couldn't hoop, he wouldn't have these perks. I mean,
no. I mean, he's a very good basketball player, but he's just not.
Guy, but he's
not an NBA player, but he could certainly play. In another professional league overseas, something like that. He's a professional,
but like younger. He's like
he's not.
He's like our kid. You know.
He's Adonis Haslam. Odonis Haslam.
Oh man.
Oh, Odonis.
Yeah. He's Odonis Haslam. He's not Udonis Haslam, but
can that run out though? No, because he's never been a two-way player.
That's what I was going to ask you. Can he finesse his way to a two-way contract?
No. I mean, why? Again, he's perfectly positioned right
He's
now.
always going to be like an Exhibit 10 guy every year.
Yeah, he's just right there on the cusp. He's just going to be right there on the cusp.
His money.
Expect him to have a front office position.
Yeah. No, he's legit, and he's legitimately like. I mean, he's a good player. Like he's not a bad player at all. Like if you put him on the hustle. I mean, yeah, he had 40 points in a game against the last year in the hustle. I mean, he's a good player. Like
G-League all-time scorer record is it in danger?
It'd be like,
I mean,
because he's going to be around
40.
for a while, man. I mean,
how many dudes have scored 40 in any game? I mean, that's you got to be pretty good to score 40 in a competitive game. I don't care what it is. So he could play. It's just that he's not an NBA player quite yet. I'll say this: he's better than some dudes on some NBA rosters. He would not be the worst player in the NBA if he were on a roster.
Would he cook Bob Cousy?
Oh
my God, he would cook Bob Cousy. It would be barbecue. It'd be put him on the grill. It'd be all over.
They're attached to him. What about Dolph Shays? Do you got Dolph Shays?
Dolph Shays.
Santi Aldama would work Dolph Shays.
Santi Aldama again would have been an All NBA legend in the 60s. I mean, it would have been second or third best player in the league.
Oh man.
I mean, it's just a different world, man. No disrespect to those guys. It's just things have changed.
I'm okay with
the game has changed. I don't want to disrespect the legends of the game like that. I mean, Oscar Robertson, all those guys. I'm not disrespecting them. Guy's a legend, man.
Hey,
I'm not disrespecting.
Speaking of legends, next segment, you got to ask Saint about his legends. He got some legends together over the weekend.
Oh, yeah, man. Quit hating on that, Pete.
I saw the. What do you mean? How am I
intimidated, man?
Yeah, how am I hating on that? Yeah, we will take a break though as we continue here. I'm not gonna. But I do want to hear about it. But I'm not. My Lord, I'm not hating on that.
Can't forget my man.
As we continue here, live from the Family Leisure Studios, Real Sports Star Sports 56.98.5.
You have opinions?
You bet.
Of course you do. Everyone does. Hit us up on the AutoZone listener line, 360-8255, 360-8255.
Hilltop Wine and Spirits, 7034 Highway 64 in Oakland, has the best prices on hundreds of your favorite brands of wine, beer, and spirits. Not sure how things taste? That's why there's a tasting room. Enjoy taste testing wine, spirits, beers, craft beers, even after dinner drinks. You have all kinds of special occasions coming up, and Hilltop Wine and Spirits can help you make those occasions memorable. You got a corporate event, a reception, an anniversary, or just a birthday with friends. Find the best selection and prices at Hilltop Wine and Spirits, 7034 Highway 64 in Oakland.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required. Refund available for 60 days after purchase.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation and discreet shipping if prescribed. Love your results or your money back. To start your free online visit, go to 4hims.com/joy. That's FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If you have damage to your home and have your insurance carrier involved, you need a great contractor. You also need a team that has seen claims of all shapes and sizes, residential or commercial. After our inspection, we'll share our findings and give you our professional opinion. Some people say you get what you pay for. However, our opinion is free. Trust the name you can depend on, like the tens of thousands of families Brian and I have served over the past 20 years here in the Mid-South. Brian Elder Roofing. We'll measure your roof from outer space and share our team's experience for your property and claim. Repaired roofs, replacement roofs, big roofs, tiny roofs, insurance roofs, flat roofs, TPO roofs, asphalt roofs, tile roofs, slate roofs, metal roofs. If your roof needs some love, call me. 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing and Contracting.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Now, back to Grind Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again, are Peter Edmiston and Anthony Sain.
She's coming in flight 35. Come on now.
Man, I hate when you ain't here, man, because the music delay is so trash.
No, you'll be all right.
Pete, what you think about Creflo Dollar, man? Since he been finessing y'all all this time.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked.
His next admission, his last name is not Dollar.
You're telling me Creflo Dollar might have been in the game for more than just saving souls. I'm as shocked as anybody out there. Well, today, as I said, it kind of feels like Monday, but it's not. It's Dinger Tuesday. Go yard all summer long with $5 Dinger Tuesdays on FanDuel Sportsbook. This season, all customers will get $5 for every home run hit by both teams when you place a $25 to hit a home run wager on Tuesday MLB games. And guess what? Today is Tuesday. Dinger Tuesday, to be exact. So even if your bet loses, FanDuel will pay you $5 for every home run. That's right. And so, I've only got there's one guy that's taken us to the bank time and time again. And I can't go anywhere else because, even if he's had a little minor slumps, even if there's been little issues or something like that, he's always seemed to come through for us when we need him most. And so for Dinger Tuesday, I am always recommending to you Aaron Judge. Always.
I'm taking Mookie, Pete. Mookie.
Okay. Hey, Mookie's a great. Mookie Betts, fantastic. We love him. Great. Let's talk about the former great Mookie Wilson, who's not playing.
No, we're going Betts, baby. Mookie Betts.
Or Mookie Blaylock, who is not a baseball player, but otherwise, Mookie Betts. I'm into it. Aaron Judge, Mookie Betts. What are you waiting for? Pick your home run hitter, one of those guys, or somebody else altogether. Turn big swings into big wins. There's no better place to bet America's pastime than on America's #1 sportsbook. Head over to your FanDuel account or download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up using promo code BIGHEAD. That's promo code BIGHEAD because, of course, my big old dome. Got to be 21 and older and present in Tennessee. Bonus issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max bonus $25. Restrictions do apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call Tennessee Redline 1-800-889-9789. All right.
Pete, I just want to let you know I trust you as a Dinger lover. So whatever Dinger you say I should go with today is who I'm going to go with.
Well, that's what I've been known as. So,
throughout your life.
You can have my second place. Go Manny. Manny was my second. Manny Machado's second, man. Y'all like these dingers.
Manny Machado.
I'm taking Peter's word, man. You've been kind of anti-Dinger over there behind the glass for the last.
Oh, yeah.
I want to send y'all these 3-pass bets. The Braves have screwed me. I've hit on 3 straight 8 parlays minus the Braves. If the Braves would have came,
you won't even go to some baseball parks.
You won't even go to
where
last time you've been out of zone.
Dingers might be found. You might
too many Dingers over here, man. You to raise the walls up over there, man.
It's the difference between the north side and the south side, man.
Going to some of these smaller parks out there. Ooh, yeah, boy. All right, so Anthony's saying you had a kind of a summit over the weekend.
Yeah, man, we're playing big things, man. I can't tell you everything we talked about, but big things.
Well, I didn't ask for a meeting synopsis. I didn't need the notes from the meeting. I wanted to tell the people what you're doing.
I can't really tell you nothing, man. You just seen some brothers getting together, man. That's all you need to know. We up to something.
You can't even tell like who was there or anything like that.
I had a vision about a year ago to kind of get all of the black male media members in the city of Memphis, sports media members in the city of Memphis together to just kind of build community, man. Give like guys who are trying to make a name for themselves. I remember what it was like for me when guys like Jarvis Greer or Jason Smith or Ron Tillery or whatever reached out to me, or I could talk to these guys. And I'm trying to create a situation where guys who are on their way up can have a place where I can sit down in a room full of everybody in the city that's black, and just kind of chop it up. Darian,
the Darian Newsom Award, basically, Pete.
Darian wasn't able to make it, but he'll be there at the next one, I'm sure.
And I'm hosting it the next time.
But yeah, it was great, man. And it'll expand. We'll do more stuff, and you'll kind of
tell me your slogan. You actually inspired me when you first sent it out. You put the quote, the tagline or whatnot. Says in this industry. Now I'll let you tell them, but it actually inspired me.
I don't want to misquote myself.
Yeah, don't misquote yourself, man.
Yeah, let me get my mind right, man. Come on.
But Pete, if you can imagine them, they were in the back of the building. You saw the walls. They were sitting in the back. So
yeah,
they were right
in the corner, like the mafia. But yeah, the tagline.
It did look like it looked like it was just kind of like when you got people just kind of taking over and just saying, "Hey, I'm just going to kick back like I own the joint." Just
it was
out.
one
That's
of them
great,
type of
man.
moves, man.
That's cool.
Shout out to the Slice of Soul on Madison Avenue, black-owned pizza parlor. They have live music there. It's really dope, man. Really cool atmosphere. I like that place a lot. That corner of Madison is black as hell right now. I don't know if y'all have noticed that or not, but a lot of black-owned restaurants and business right there in that corner of Madison. You got them. You got a wing place there. It's another like soul food.
Liberty Land coming up the street.
yeah, exactly. So Darren, I think I lost Darren. I don't know if we're gonna make it.
Darren's like,
yeah.
You have to include me out, gentlemen.
Yeah. But the tagline for that is because in our profession we can't be friends, we have to be family.
That was awesome. When I read that,
that's what it's all about, man. It's beautiful.
Awesome. I love it. We work in a very cutthroat business. I mean, you're aware of that, Peter. You know what I mean? So
certainly,
we're just trying to create an environment where we can check on each other, make sure each other's good, encourage each other.
And my last takeaway, person that had the best seat in the house was our very own Zach Boyd.
Yeah. Oh man, Zach was sitting there in the corner. Let me see if I can.
Now he was in between, unless he moved around. From what I saw, he was sitting next to Doc and CJ.
Yeah, he had.
If I'm
Doc
not mistaken.
CJ.
See, it's ingrained in my brain.
Yeah, and Doc, CJ, and Terry Davis were around Zach, and they was just pouring into him. Oh man, and Doc Holliday, I'm sitting up here. He's on his show is on right now. It's on my laptop. I'm looking at it. Man, just the wealth of knowledge that Doc Holliday has, man, is incredible. It was just a great day, man, and it's something I want to do more often with the guys. I've only had one before this one. It was back in I think October, but I'm making a promise to do this at least once a month with the brothers in the city. So, and ladies, if y'all jealous, start your own. That's all I can advise for you. If it's on your heart like that, do it.
So no girls allowed is what you're saying in this club?
Yeah, I think this is just for the guys, man. I'm not
it's like a clubhouse.
Yeah.
Like no girls allowed.
Yeah,
situation?
no girls allowed. Yeah. What was Buckwheat and them name? Little Rascals. Yeah.
Oh, no, Little Rascals.
No, what was the gang called?
Our gang.
He-Man Hater Woman Club. He-Man Woman Hater Club.
Yeah, that was the Al Bundy thing, right?
I don't know.
They actually had a song.
But seriously, I do encourage if there are, because I know that I think the ladies kind of got something like this they already do anyway. So I encourage that to happen,
And
for sure.
And I came up with the Pete. I came up with your first five. So just in case you want to start your group, your first five is going to be Connor. It's going to be Gabe. John Harden's going to be there. Brian, J-Mo, and of course you, Pete. And then you have to fill in the gaps and all that other good stuff. So I got your five going, Pete.
But
what do you think it would be? I'm just going to workshop this. So just we'll go with me on this. What do you think if I tweet out, hey, I'm hosting a lunch for only white men.
Hey, I say business as usual.
Hey,
looks like Monday out here.
And it's not at the pizza place. It's Seasons 52.
yeah. Sorry, guys. This is no.
White guys only.
This is at the Logan Steakhouse or whatever.
Mm-hmm. I remember my guy. I can't think of his name. His website has really changed now. It's not news anymore. He's really just a drama tabloid type thing. My guy with Black Sports Online. Somebody came at him and was like, imagine if white people started a sports network and was like white sports online. He's like, oh, you mean like every other network? Which is real, man. For real.
Well, no. What I'm just saying is, I don't know.
And I know that's not what you meant. Is that so?
No,
yeah.
no. My point is that it would be.
It's
funny to think about because the need for what you're talking about is that there aren't as many black men and women, but in your case, you're talking about black men, and so it makes sense to come together and the folks that are successful to mentor and put an arm out to the younger guys and all that stuff because there's not a whole lot and. To be honest, you guys, there's different challenges than I've faced. So it's just a different situation. There's no need for that. I can mentor, but it's a different sort of support. It's not the same.
Like imagine I think about a guy like Frank Bonner, who's a young black guy who just moved here from Indiana. He doesn't know anybody in town, but when he came to Memphis, we immediately reached out to him. Brought him around the guys, and he was like, bro, you ain't here by yourself. You can't say that at all. Like, we got you. And, and we kind of want it to be where, like, it's 20 of us. It's like 20-some odd guys that are in this group. And the thing is, like, okay, if you come, we want you to be able to find somebody in this group you can link on to and y'all get together and have lunch, or y'all hang out, or y'all
Yeah,
club.
I think it's great.
I don't think we all have to come together as one big 20-something guy group all the time. But if y'all want to just build connection and community, man, I think it's.
And I love it. I'm extremely grateful
Yeah,
for
man,
it because
you
for someone
gotta
like
be at
me
the next
that
one,
was in a whole different career in the field,
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I chime back in because not just for younger guys, it's for older folk like me, Pete.
Well, when I say younger, I mean like younger
in the industry, in the industry.
Somebody who's
in the
exactly.
industry. But I'm totally new to it, and I'm forever grateful for someone like Sane reaching out and doing
Man,
stuff
appreciate
like
you,
that,
bro.
man.
Appreciate you. Go to break. I'm about to start crying.
Don't cry.
Don't
cry.
Yeah, what are you talking about? You don't have any problem. You don't have any problem crying.
You know, I'm one of them Carl Anthony Towns type superstars, man. I'm not the. I ain't gonna try to act like.
No, I think this is gonna be one of those. This is gonna be one of those Dave Yeager cries. Where yeah, I'm so.
Nah, it's dope, though, man.
Let me put the drip. Okay,
Put some
this
Visine
team,
in.
man. There's some, somebody cut some onions. Cut some onions. Oh man, this is
some pepper water.
Man, just some emotional, man. This team, the ones that didn't hate me. Oh, it was beautiful how they came together. Not so much him. I tell you, no, but some of the other ones. Vince, I like him.
A lot of people do not know that crying episode by Dave Yeager was straight petty. It was a petty shot he took at the vets in the locker room that he didn't like. That's all that was. He just used that to name names for the guys he did like. He actually didn't have a problem with. Yep. But yeah, man.
Amazing stuff, man. Amazing stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We will continue. We're going to recap a summer league tomorrow. One of my favorite days because it's time for just massive overreactions. Let's just overreact. We're about to see the new MVP or the worst people in the world. I don't know. One of the two. We're going to find out tonight. Our thanks to Steven. Our thanks to CJ. Our thanks to all of you guys. Stay cool out there. It is nuts. Coming up next, Sports Time. Y'all be good.
It's